So I ended up getting transferred to the LA County Jail, Men's Central downtown, from Linwood. I'm watching myself on the news in Linwood. Uh, get to the county jail. Uh, they put me in a cell initially with some essays. And the county jail is rocking at this time. It's 2003. The race riots is going, the cell integration. And an OG from 60s that was the tier tender, he came down there and said, don't worry about it, young homie. I'm going to move you in the cell with me and my homies. And your homeboy is around the corner. We're going to get you over there, but we're finna get you up out this cell right now. They popped the door. I end up going down the tier in the cell with his homies, some youngsters. They, it's cool though, whatever. They was cool. They treated me like family, you know what I mean? They knew I was moving out the cell to go over there with my homies. My homies had a little respect, a little juice around there, so it was all good. They immediately got the cell popped again. I go around to the other module and end up in the cell with my childhood friend who I hadn't seen since, 97, before I caught the robbery. And end up in the cell with him and a couple of the young homies from the neighborhood. So it's like we got our own cell. Everybody, they haven't seen me in years. It's like a little picnic. And we just chopping it up, and they end up snatching me, taking me to Wayside, and I end up basically challenging the violation they was trying to give me. The parole agent was saying that they found things in the home that I was in that was not in the home. He was lying to my parole officer, knowing that if I sit in the county long enough, they're going to take me to the board and violate me and give me a year flat anyway because I'm on high control. So he wouldn't forward the police report to my parole agent. After going back and forth with my parole agent and him tired of getting stalled by this other parole agent who was there to arrest me, he said, look, I talked to my supervisor. She said that, you've been doing good out here. We'll cut you loose, but you got to sign a new condition of parole saying you will not go into the Pueblo Del Rio housing project anymore. I said, run it. I was out of jail the next day, continue on parole. Went down to Pasadena office, met his supervisor. She talked to me. She asked me, said, what you doing over there anyway? I said, my daughter lives over there, And she was like, okay, well, you're going to have to sign this new condition right here that says you will not go over there anymore. I said, what about my daughter? She said, you better find somewhere else to meet her. I said, she's 5. She said, you better find somewhere else to meet her. Because if you get arrested over there again, we're not bailing you out. I said, run it. Signed off on the condition of parole, special condition. I will not go into the projects. 1 hour later, I was pulling up the projects.
Damn.
And, just to let everybody know I'm out, I'm good. I beat it. They couldn't do nothing to me. I didn't do nothing. Whatever. Back up to my old ways. I wasn't working. I'm just in the hood. And I seen that guy, man, my homeboy, who had told me, whenever you ready, I'm going to put you on. And I remember he was parked in my grandmother's parking lot, watching, this is when we had TVs in the cars and stuff like that, in the dashboard and all that good stuff. And so he's sitting in the car watching TV, little videos or whatever, and I jump in the car with him, and he passed me a blunt. He said, you ready? I said, I'm ready. We spent that whole day driving around and him showing me how to case a bank. See, he was particularly interested in me because he knew that I lived outside of the hood and that I knew how to get around. I knew how to maneuver on the freeways. He knew that I knew virgin territory for bank robberies. See, because they had burnt out L.A. There were so many bank robbery crews in these gangs running around networking together that they was hitting the same bank one after another. So he pulled me in. And after he showed me how to case it, I told him I've already been looking at some things, and I showed him the things that I had been looking at. And he said, I knew it. I knew it. And that was the beginning of a bank robbery spree for me. Shortly after that, I met up with my ex-wife, Candy, right? We were boyfriend and girlfriend at the time, but we eventually ended up getting married. I ended up linking up with her in Long Beach, which provided me the perfect duck off spot. You know, she had a nice little apartment down there, off of Third and Magnolia, down there close to Ocean Boulevard. You can smell the salt water from the balcony. Perfect. Do my dirt in the city, and slide to Long Beach. Come right off the 110 and I'm at home. And that's how it went for the next few months. Do my dirt all day in LA, go to the studios at night, and then slide back to Long Beach. And it was me and Candy and her son, who was about 4 at the time. And
this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
That's how it went for the next few months. I was just a regular Joe, taking my stepson to preschool and, you know, going out to amusement parks and entertaining my family. No one really knew around me, including her family, what I was really into. Got another little job working at a park that featured like rock wall climbing, arcade, paintball, and all of these type of things. And I was basically a door-to-door salesman, walking around with my little shirt, my little leather zip case with tickets in it, selling tickets for this park during the off season, right? And people would actually walk me into their businesses and sit down and talk to me while I'm casing their business.
Damn.
In the middle of selling them some tickets. I said, this is the perfect job. This is the perfect job. So I'm going city to city selling tickets, you know, making commission, $65, $100, $120 a day sometimes, casing jobs and just putting them in the back of my mind like, okay, walking, door to door, all folk homes, banks, whatever, everything on the strip, right? But again, I'm living a normal life as far as anybody know, you know, including my mom. My parole officers are Dougie with me. They not tripping. It was smooth. I didn't abscond. I was going to the parole agent twice a month. Once a month, he'd come to my house, my mother's house, where he believed that I lived. And then once a month, I would go into the office and take a UA. And then one time I made the foolish mistake of coming into the parole office with a $600 leather jacket on, with some diamond stud earrings, some brand new J's, not really tripping, thinking that he kind of like gang goofy. And I remember he pulled me by the back of my collar on my jacket, and I thought he was trying to take me down, but he was flipping the coat inside out to see if this coat was real leather by the tag. And he said, "That's a nice jacket." I said, "Oh, no, you know, it's some little imitation leather from the swap meet." He said, "No, this is real leather." And I didn't know what to say. I didn't know if he had seen this same coat in the display window at the store that I bought it from in the Baldwin Hills Mall or what. But I knew that moving forward that I had to be a lot more careful about what I was doing and how I was doing it. Right? I didn't have a clue that the FBI was already circulating wanted posters in post offices and such with my face on it. They didn't know who I was. They didn't know my name, but they had some pretty good pictures of me. Mind you, the first bank I robbed was across the street from the bank my mother went to every month to cash her check from the CHP.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
It was only a matter of time till she walked in the post office and saw her son wanted poster up on the wall.
Damn.
Right? So I'm sliding, none the wiser, not knowing that a new federal investigation has been opened into this bank robbery ring in this community. My guys are getting clipped one at a time, coming out of robberies. Things were moving really fast. I end up moving to Carson with Candy and her son. We end up moving to Carson into a house, and that's where I met some of her friends from her neighborhood where she grew up, and started using them as goons. Some of them.